Hey guys, my name is Marshall Livingston, and I'm currently in the class CS 165, the Java class with everybody. I just wanted to make this video specifically for this class, just because from what I'm seeing from the TAs, they're not really sure about how to, find alternatives for the JDK 8 version that they're wanting to install and register for to get the actual Java application to be able to run on your computer. So that way you can code and do everything like that. However, there is an alternative, something that I actually would recommend more than JDK 8, and that's the OpenJDK version. It's open source. It's practically the same thing. It's actually open source, and it's contributed to by members from all around the world. So not just Oracle, but anybody, which is fantastic. Because peer review is everything, and in science, that's the actual science, right? It's the peer review, not whatever anybody else says. But anyway. Moving on, that's a whole nother topic. I just kind of want to show you how easy it is to set it up. So you can go ahead and open your browser, whatever one would be fine, and type in jdk.java.net / and I think they want 8 right now. That's what they're saying. So we're going to type in 8. Now, JDK 8 Early Access Program has finished, right? So we don't even want that. Now, actually, there's a JDK 14 version. So let's go ahead and grab that one because it just makes way more sense. It's going to be the exact same thing, except way more updated. So we can come down here. Now, I run Linux as my main operating system, my daily drive, but I'm doing this on Windows Virtual Machine just to kind of give, I know that a lot more people use Windows. So this video is targeted for Windows. For those of you that are security buffs like myself that want to make sure you're getting the correct version and there's no difference, there's a SHA-256 hash for you. However, for those that are just looking to kind of get this stuff downloaded, go ahead and just click on zip. Now, I've already downloaded this, but you should just be able to click on it and it would start right away. I've already downloaded this, so I'm not going to go ahead and download the whole thing. But when you're done with that, go ahead and click on open, right? And I'll do it anyway. Just to kind of show you guys how to extract and do everything here, because extracting it can be a little funky. So when this is totally done being downloaded, go ahead and click on it. And it will, or just open it up. And you should be brought to this extract folder thing, JDK 14, beautiful. So we'll go ahead and extract, and instead of extracting here, we're actually going to click on browse and go to this PC, local disk, program files, and we're going to create a new folder in here and name it Java. Now, I've already done this. As you can see, my folder is up here. So I'm just going to back out of that and actually delete this new folder, but you should keep yours. So when you go ahead and hit enter, double click into Java and extract, just click OK. Now I've obviously already installed mine in here, but go ahead and just click OK and you should automatically see yours start extracting. I'm just going to exit out of this because I've already done this. Once you're done, you're going to want to go into that folder. So let's see, we're going to go to, I don't even use Windows very often. How do we get back to my PC here? Sweet, here we go. Local PC, we're going to go right into program files, into Java, into the JDK, and into bin. Now bin is going to store all the DLLs and executables that make your actual Java application run. We're going to want to copy this address. So you can right click on the open space here and click copy address, or you can left click and you'll see that the entire address is there and you can control C. Now that we're going to need to do two things, which is just set the environment variable and then we are done and ready to go. So come down here and just type in environment and you should see edit the system's environment variables. We'll go ahead and click on that. And this little tiny window will get popped up and you'll be able to see environment variables here at the bottom. Click on that. And this is where you can kind of do it in two different places. You could use it for the user or you could set the variable for the system. I'm going to be setting it for the system. However, the process will work the same for both. So I come down here to path, which is also up here, path and then edit. Now you can see everything here is on the actual system path. We're going to want to click on new and just go ahead and paste that in here, the whole thing. C programs file, Java, JDK 14, and make sure that your bin is in there. Then go ahead and click OK. That's it. Next, we're going to click on new. It's not edit, new. We're going to name this Java home and set the variable value to the actual home folder, right? So we're going to delete bin and just have it set to that. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and backspace, but we're going to delete bin and the /. or backslash, sorry, and just keep it like that. Go ahead and click OK. Great. Now the last thing that we're going to want to do is go back down to our path here, click on edit, and we're going to want to make sure to bring this all the way up to the top. So click on this and click move up, and you can see that it's moving up slowly. We're going to want to bring it all the way up to the top. So that way it recognizes this first. Click OK. Now we're done. Click OK. Done. Awesome. Beautiful. So now I want to run and test this out. Actually, I don't want to close my virtual machine. Let me just close that. I want to test this out. So I'm going to come down to here and type in PowerShell. PowerShell. And we're going to type in Java and -- version. And if we have everything set correctly, it should tell you OpenJDK 14.02 is your version, the runtime environment with the build model, and also the actual version. So we're using a 64-bit server, which is our virtual machine, which is great. Actually, that's actually written in C++, for those of you that didn't know. Java would not be able to run without C++. So anyway, now that we have that, let's check out the Java C, or the Java compiler, which is also written in, actually, I think the virtual machine is written in C and the compiler is written in C++. So let me just verify that. But Java version, and you can see that our Java compile is set to 14.0.2. Excellent, awesome. So you know what? Let's just try a little code and see if it works. I'm going to use my favorite IDE, which is Visual Studio Code, and just double click on that. And you know, there was something that I did before. I'm actually going to go and delete the. Here we go. So you don't kind of have to do any of this if you're new. You know what? Let's do this. I'm just going to uninstall this so that way it looks exactly like it would if you opened it for the first time. You can download this within. It's going to be linked in the description below if you're interested in using Visual Studio Code. I know that they recommend using Eclipse, which if you're happy with Eclipse, then stay with it. If you're not and you want something a little bit more, I guess, up to date, then I would definitely highly recommend Visual Studio Code. It's awesome. I've been using it for years. It's great. So anyway, let's just go ahead and double check. We'll hop in here. This is all the homework, so I can't really click on that right now, but we'll just make a new file called, we'll name it hello world.java. Okay. Now open this up and it says the Java extension pack is recommended for this file type. So let's go ahead and install that. Looks like everything's installed. We're just waiting for it to give us the message, which it doesn't look like it's going to give us, but that's totally fine. We can just restart after this. So close that out, bring it back up, and there's our hello world. Great. So now what we can test is we can just delete that just to kind of restart this process and try it again. We'll do hello world.java, and you can see that the package got brought up automatically, which is just great. You don't really need to have that in there. It's something that if you want, we can definitely go over later. However, just to kind of get this going, you can see it already builds the actual class for you. Really convenient. So now we just need that public class main, right? So if we just type in main, works perfectly, brings it right up. This is really, really nice. Let's do system. Was it system dot what? I know it's system dot something. Maybe it's is it in? No, it's out. So see how the syntax highlighting is really helpful. There's the print line. We'll go ahead and type in hello world, and this looks awesome. We're just going to remove this. Like I said, you don't really need it. And at this point, we are good. We've built a program. We've used syntax highlighting. Now we're going to actually want to run it. So we can do it a couple different ways. We can come down here and click a run, which it should just run perfectly. And build. So we can go ahead and fix this. We want to clean the workspace and then restart and delete. So we'll come down here and click on run again. There we go. And as you can see, the program ran successfully. Awesome. Now, I really don't like doing it that way, just because I'm in the terminal all the time, but it's whatever works for you. If you wanted to, you could type in Java and then the actual file, which is hello world. actually I need to go into the Java folder, which is not Java. It's what is it? This one? Yeah. Week 1, and then hello world. Hit enter and you will see hello world gets popped up. Awesome. Now let's check one more thing further so that way we can see why I really love Visual Studio Code, because I write, I use C++, Python, I write a lot of different Bash, a lot of different programming languages. But let's just make a loop. For int I equals 0, basic loop, I is less than, we'll just say 10, and then we're going to increase I by 1. We'll come down here and we'll do the system.out.print, and we'll do you know what? Let's do a print f here, and we'll %d, so that way we can get I. We'll put a colon there, and then we'll say hello world. That way we can see every single iteration that's happening. Now I'll put a comma here, put I there, close it out. I kind of like spaces. My stuff is just a little easier to see. And then that's perfect. That looks good. So from here, we're going to set a breakpoint. And I'm not sure if we're going to be going, I hope we're going to be going over like, breakpoints and how to debug and stuff like that. But if you're new to this, it's actually really cool. Kind of get a lot better understanding of what's happening in your program. This is a simple program, so it's obviously going to be very, very easy to follow along, but sometimes when you write complicated programs, it can be really hard to debug, and using a debugger that's built into your IDE is a fantastic way to quickly kind of just ninja through your code. So we're going to put a breakpoint right at the 4, because that's where a lot of shit is happening. So we'll put a breakpoint there, and we'll right click and click on debug. Now at this point, our debugger has started, and you can see it kind of just ran through and stopped here. So if we click on our debugger, which is over here, you'll see that there is one session running, and we have a local session, right? It's our local stack. Now, if we click on move forward, int I is getting initialized, and then, it's getting declared and then initialized to have the value of 0. So you can see that happens right here. So right after we did that, it went ahead and did that. So the next thing that it's going to do is print %d, which is going to be 1, right? Actually, it's going to be 0, and then hello world. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll click on next. And it did. It clicked out 0 and then hello world. Cool. Our program is working exactly how it's supposed to. Let's just check and make sure it's going to do everything fine. So we'll click on next. There we know that I is now equal to 1. Perfect. So it's going to print out again. Excellent. Oh, but that's not what we wanted. We wanted a new line. Good thing I checked. All right. So we're going to go ahead and click on, just add that new line at the end. Save. And then click here to restart. Perfect. So now we're going to do the same thing and just click. We know that I has not been initialized or declared yet because it's clearly not here. But right after we click next, it will. You can see I is now declared and initialized to 0. There's our system.print. We're just going to run that just like before. And you can see, perfect. Now it's adding the new line exactly how we wanted. So I don't want to keep clicking over and over again. I'm going to go ahead and run to this next one, which is step out. And it's just going to kind of step out of the breakpoint and just run it every single time. So we're just going to see how it works. There's 2, hello world, as you can see down here. Watch for 3. There's the next step. Perfect. Our program is functioning exactly like we intended. Now we might get a little bit of a confusion here when we go to our last one, and that's because Java is actually it's doing garbage collection. It's cleaning up everything on the actual local stack. So we're just going to finish that out, and that's perfect. Everything's working exactly like we planned. So we'll close that and go back to our program, and everything's working perfectly. If you guys liked this video or are having confusions with it, please reach out to me, and I'd be happy, in the comments or whatever, I'd be happy to help out however I can. I definitely do tutoring for all Java, Python, C++, all that kind of stuff. I'm a registered private tutor at CSU. So if you ever want to actually do any sort of tutoring or programming with me, I'd be happy to help you out. You can always join our Discord. Our Discord link is also in the description below. And I guess that's it. I hope that this was easy and intuitive for you guys. Anyway, if you want any more videos, I'd be happy to post them here. So until next time.